Yep. What's up? What's up, bro? What's good?
Man, what's good, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. You already know what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? So we on live, you know what I'm saying? So what I want you to do is just go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, man. My name's Cory, born and raised in Tacoma, Washington. I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother. I'm the CEO and executive director of a nonprofit called Y Start, where we support incarcerated artists and artists in the community. And just here to support men, and just some information, good food out here to our brothers and sisters out there in the world, man, that need uplifting.
Okay, for sure. Yo, so you didn't say how long you've been incarcerated. How long you been in this system?
Well, I've been in the system for the last 7 years. I was sentenced to 300 months, which is 25 years.
Wow. Okay. Where did you start your time at?
I started my time at Cory Ridge.
Okay. How was it over there? Just so the people can get just a little visual of what Coyote Ridge is like.
Man, it was hot. You get to feel all 4 seasons. It's a different culture. It's like pretty much the medium is ran like, being closed custody. There's a lot of issues, that are pervasive, dealing with, different sets and different types of individuals, man. So it's not really a place that, a person that wants better can grow. You know what I mean? So, it's just another prison, man, that's used as a weapon of oppression. No matter where you at.
Yeah, well, I was there. I was at the Ridge before. One thing that I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of like. One thing that I like though was that there was a lot of like racism. You know what I'm saying? Like with the where the whites were kind of really racist towards blacks, but it brought us closer together, which I hadn't seen in a long time. Did you experience any of that over there?
Yeah, there was a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? But I seen more. My time there, I seen a lot more issues with, us as the people, you know what I'm saying? I seen a lot of things between, the North Siders and the South Siders, you feel me? But I never didn't see that much clashes between, being blacks and whites. The most clashes I seen was blacks on blacks, man. And that was the sad part, but there were a few, special individuals that were there that were trying to change that culture. So it wasn't all bad,
Right. You know what's crazy is like every institution I was at first, we had unity amongst our people. And then when I ask people like yourself that, you'll be like, nope, that wasn't there no more, because it's all changing. You know what I'm saying? So what I want you to do is like tell the people listening how you see the gang culture in prison, and just in your own words.
So, one thing for me, I think that the gang culture in prison keeps us, the men and women involved, trapped in a bubble where mediocrity and ignorance is embraced more so than mental and spiritual elevation. We're in a situation where you can see men that want to grow, but because of social and environmental factors such as peers and the lack of a strong support system, will and can cause the individual to be unwilling to grow in areas outside of their comfort zone. So instead, the choice is often made to stick close to what we're used to, because we found a way to normalize the abnormal. You know what I'm saying? So when I say normalize the abnormal, what I'm talking about is, the use of violence instead of our brain, to handle situations. You know what I mean? So when a person is beginning to take stock of themselves and begin to investigate their thinking, attitudes, behaviors, unexpressed and unresolved trauma, and mental health around those that have not reached that point in their personal development and cannot find counsel within their social arena, and the only place they can find others that are beginning to or have found themselves is outside of the so-called homies. What's left is the pressure of the pull to conform because you don't want to be seen as weird or weak, versus finding true freedom and self-realization, because no one in this situation wants to stand alone. So often we're coached out of our intelligence to fit in. You may get a person's ear for an hour, but who will have that man or woman's ear for the next 23? Meaning, how strong is the negative influence? How strong is the individual's will to change? At the same time, I don't blame the person, because through outside forces, we've been programmed and socialized as black men and women for self-destruction and self-hate. The government, the judicial system, media and entertainment, the school system, the FDA and DOC has made billions and trillions off of our ignorance and lack of knowledge of self. These are facts. struggles, internal as well as external. And navigating through all of the different stimulus on a daily isn't an easy task when your resources are limited and where most everyone around you are afraid to be open about the fact that they want better but don't know how to get to it, and fear what it might mean to take actual deliberate steps towards more life. Gang culture is the actual practice of death, physical, mental, and spiritual. Is it hard to live, or are we afraid to live? We see men hide behind their names and affiliations, never define themselves, and those same individuals are the ones that puppet others towards the pathway back to prison, back to chains and bondage, back to loss, back to another form of oppression. This is how I see gang culture as of today, knowing that the structure of what we now call gangs was originally built on the foundation of community uplifting and self-determination, not the destructive force of ignorance.
Right, man, that's deep, bro. Something I heard in there too is you was talking about like how a lot of times we like conform to the homies and stuff like that, and I definitely agree with that. But then the problem that I see is that then we come to prison and we conform to the prison. We conform to doing nothing, talking about nothing, being extra ignorant when we get here. And then there's always going to be people that will do their own thing. But can you just talk about that real quick? How people just conform and how they got it to where it's so systematic, where we just get packages. So now I don't want to work. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to read a book. I want to do my time and just go back out there. Can you just talk about that real quick?
Well, saying for most of us, even myself at a point in time, it's easier to conform in a sense, right? You know what I mean? It's harder to do things, man, outside of your comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? I once heard a phrase that said, a quote, that life begins at the end of your comfort zone, right? And so for a lot of individuals doing nothing, it's just passing time, with the mundane, playing cards, dominoes, staying away from books, and activities that uplift the brain, and the spirit, because what do you want becomes the question. If an individual has to recognize what they want or haven't found that answer for themselves, then it's better just to do what everybody else is doing or the majority is doing. You know what I mean? Because we may think that it's easier to just pass time, but really it becomes hard because a lot of us are getting out of here, have had most of our 20s taken away from us. A lot of us had our teen years and 20s taken away from us. A lot of us are not coming home until we're like in our early 50s, late 40s. And stuff like that, So it's like then to be prepared or to think about a future that you may not feel like that you have, it's easier to, involve yourself in things that are quote unquote called escapism. You know what I mean? And so it's like you don't have to develop when you choose not to think. You know what I mean? And you choose not to feel. You know what I mean? You choose not to recognize, what your situation or your condition is because you have so many distractions around you. And then when you wake up and it's time for you to come home, then you realize you've done nothing with your time. You know what I mean? You've done nothing to uplift yourself. You've done nothing to uplift your family. You know what I'm saying? Or if you have kids, you know what I'm saying, you have done nothing to help develop them, you know what I'm saying, to push them away from, where you were just at. You know what I'm saying? So, like I heard this before, man, revolution starts within. Change starts within. You know what I'm saying? And like think alike. You know what I mean? So once you begin to change yourself, you feel me, things around you will change. But a lot of us don't see that because change is hard. It's easy to stay bound to, what is familiar to us. You know what I mean? And that's not just for people that are incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? This is also for people that are in community. You know what I mean? It's people that are out there in the world every day that are basically roboting themselves from day to day. You know what I mean? Not thinking about where they can grow at. You know what I mean? Not thinking about can their best be better.
Right, for sure. And I want to just qualify that too and say I'm definitely guilty because you catch me in the day room playing some pinochle, but I use that to decompress because I definitely read, I try to program, and I use that to like decompress, but also I use it as a place to fellowship with my brothers and try to smile and stuff like that. But I'm definitely not wasting my time up in here. But you hit on something really important too about the family and stuff. So I want you to like tell the people like your own struggles, like raising your kids while incarcerated, because I know you got kids and stuff, and sometimes I see you have good days and bad days, and I know that sometimes the kids be heavy on your mind, so let's talk about that.
So, real quick though, I want to qualify what you're saying too, man. We're all guilty of sometimes, man, hopping on that card table, man, or slamming some dominoes, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's not the daily, and it's not our everyday, and it's not the focus. You know what I'm saying? But you know, raising kids in prison, man, has been a blessing, but it's also been a curse because, you know, for me, I was active in my children's lives before I came to prison. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like the bond that was created before I failed, you know what I'm saying, is still there. You know, I have a 20-year-old and I have a 11 and 12-year-old. You know what I mean? And I spend a lot of time with them, you know, doing whatever I can, you know what I mean, to help uplift them and help challenge their perceptions without poisoning them with mine. You know what I mean? I send them books. You know what I mean? I draw with them. You know what I mean? I counsel with them. I talk with them. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I get to have EFVs with my kids. You know what I mean? But the hardest part about it is knowing that when I'm on this phone, that it's painful for them to talk to me through this phone, just like it's painful for me to talk to them through this phone and be absent. You know what I mean? Because the gap between where I was with them when I was in the streets and where I'm at now is growing significantly every single day. You know what I mean? So I have to do things and find creative ways to engage with them, you know what I mean? But without causing them any more mental anguish or harm because of my absence, but also while still trying to maintain that bond with them. And it's an everyday occurrence. You know what I mean? It's just luckily that, you know what I'm saying, the mother of my children, you know what I mean, has allowed me to be in their lives, you know what I mean, continuously, regardless to my incarceration. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of brothers, man, don't have that. You know, but there's also a lot of brothers that don't think about it. You know what I mean? So I even try to go to PTA meetings, all that, get to know their teachers. It's hard because they're not, a lot more times than not, those type of individuals are not comfortable with, you know, dealing with or communicating with somebody that's in prison because they have a stigma or they have a bias in their mind, and they may think or try to use that as a way to try to separate and divide you from your family, and or don't recognize the importance of me being there regardless to their feelings or regardless to their perspective. You know what I mean? And so it's like, man, it's an everyday struggle. This shit is hard. Excuse my language. You know what I mean? But it really is. But we fight through it every day because this helps me, you know, focus on and be deliberate about what my purpose is and what my direction is when I do come home. You know what I mean? And it helps me understand what is important and what has always been important. It's not. It's sometimes, you know, we try to chase, you know, we try to chase the things that we love, and we're running away from the things that love us. You feel me? And that goes back into the homies. There's a lot of cats, man, you know what I'm saying, that I know have kids, but we never have conversations about their family. My family's in the forefront of my tongue every single day because that's what gives me hope and that's what gives me motivation because I recognize, you know what I'm saying, what I left behind. You know what I'm saying? Who I turned my back on. You know what I mean? Not thinking hard enough, not thinking broad enough. You know what I mean? Not having faith in myself, man, and recognizing that today's issues don't have to be tomorrow's problems if I look for a true solution. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, man, but it's also beautiful because I know that they love me and I love them, and our bond grows stronger every day. You know what I'm saying? You know, and they're included in my activities. You know what I mean? The stuff that I do in the community, they're included. You know, they get to see, you know, what dad is doing from behind the walls with his hands tied behind his back. You know what I mean? And how effective it is. Letting them know that you could grow anywhere and don't stop, you know?
Yeah, I definitely dig it. I got kids too, man. And one thing that you have, you know, you're blessed because you just told the people that you get EFVs. And so just for the people out there that don't know, an EFV is an extended family visit. That's where his kids can come stay the night for 24 to 48 hours, you know. So that's a powerful thing. But what I want you to do for me and just keep answering this question is, I want this to be a two-part question. I want the kids to learn from this, but knowing what you know now, what would you do different, knowing that you would be out of your kids' lives for the things that you was involved in, but also the kids that's out there that's listening, the kid that may be listening, he needs to understand that if he makes mistakes, that he's going to forfeit his life and his kids and the people that love him too. So can you talk about that for me, please?
Man, one of the main things that I would say, you know, that I've learned or wish I could have done different. It's not about what happened the day that I got locked up. It's everything prior to that moment. And one of the main things I would say is, man, like I said in my previous is, having more faith in myself, man, and having more faith in, that. Like I said, man, today's issues don't have to be tomorrow's problems. So, we're not really taught to critically think, and we're not taught to feel. We're taught to conceal, man, and be active. When really sometimes being active is defensive. It's not offensive, sometimes it's defensive because you're afraid to feel what it feels like to walk away from a situation. So what I would do different now is recognize that, man, I got as much space as I need to remove myself from any situation that could put me back in the box or put me in a place where I'm away from what loves me and what I love. For illusion or for the false sense of camaraderie, friendship and brotherhood, because it's not real. And what we begin to recognize is that when you come to prison, it's not the homies that show up, man, for you. It's not the homies, man. It's your mom. It's your significant other. It's the mother of your children. It's your cousins. It's your uncles. Sometimes your brothers. But it ain't the cats that you was with every single day. They're not even waiting for you to come home. You know what I'm saying? They just wait till they see you so they can give you some drag about how they miss you and they meant to right, and then try to direct you back into the same situation that got you locked up. They ain't looking out for your kids. They ain't doing none of that. And when you do find that, it's rare. It's one in a million that you find a situation where an individual is left the streets and the same cat they was with is actually still doing something for them now. And that's not an everyday occurrence for most of us, man. It's our moms and our family. And those are the same people that we leave behind when we touch down again. What I would do different also is recognize that, it's not just about changing myself, it's about changing my environment. My internal development, when my internal development outgrows my social arena, that means it's time for me to go. You gotta cut ties with everything. Before I fell, I was going to school, working, doing music, making clothes. But I still had the same snakes in my circle that had always been biting me, and I didn't recognize it. It's too late. And then unfortunately, I got in a situation where I had to harm somebody, man, that I thought I was supposed to. So that's the part about it that a lot of people don't talk to us about, is the fact that, man, when you change, you gotta change everything. You gotta move away from all of it. You gotta move away from anything that can hold you back. And that's a part of keeps us from doing that.
Yeah, and it's crazy, man, because I was just talking to these guys about that exact same thing earlier in the day room, because we're going to have this kids program peer-to-peer, and one of the things I wanted them kids to understand is that when you come to prison, man, everybody that you thought was cool, like, I'm not going to even sit here and lie. I got 3 homies from my neighborhood that send me Christmas cards and tap in. Everybody else, I ain't seen no money on my phone. I ain't seen a package. I ain't seen nothing. But it's like, yo, we're just hella deep, So it's like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? But I know when I left, my son's mom's phone was ringing and cats is tapping in and all these different things. And cats don't understand, man, that are they really friends? You know what I'm saying? Because you have to question all that now. You know what I mean? Like, are these guys really your friends? Because it's like, yo, we do all this stuff for the neighborhood, and then the minute that they come in there and start gentrifying the neighborhood and they say, you're getting up out of here, we're not fighting them people. We're going to pack our stuff up, and our moms and everybody's going to leave. But we're quick to attack each other. So I think that, man, real talk, there's a lot of false realities that we're just not dealing with. So I would just say to any kids out there that's listening, if you got a chance to make a better decision, don't worry about what your homeboys think, because a lot of times we're dealing with ego. You know what I'm saying? So we're doing things because this dude's looking. So when this dude bumps you, we're doing stuff because he's looking, or because he told us that we can't be acting like a sucker or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then we put ourselves in situations, and then a lot of times these cats are going to take the stand and tell on you, and they don't want to be locked up with you, you know what I mean? So I would just piggyback off that, and I would just say that. That was really deep what you said, Payso. Before we move into like the work you do, why do they call you Payso?
That comes from me hustling and all that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, Payso is the name I was born with. That's my real government birth name. You know what I'm saying? My mother changed my name when I was 9 months. You know what I mean? But that name's still tied to my social security card and my birth certificate. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a handle, but it's my real name.
That is dope. I would have never knew that if I didn't just ask that off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, right? Nah, that's dope. That's dope, right? That's dope. I mean, straight up and down, that is dope. Because I'm not gonna lie, I thought that you got that name when ASAP came out. I was like, maybe he heard that and then he changed the name. I don't know, but anyway.
No, this is from 85. 19.
All right.
Blind from 85.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah, man.
But you always think how people got their nicknames. I didn't mean to get off track. I had to ask that though, just off the muscle. I had to ask that. But check it out though. Because I was sitting in this day room because we were talking a little bit ago about like how cats conform and they don't do nothing in the day room. So I remember when you started doing your whole Fly Star thing in the day room. I remember the day you came up with the idea and you was recruiting people and y'all was having little meetings up in the side, and a couple people fell off and a couple people stayed, then a couple people fell off and a couple more fell off. But it's a lot of hard work, right? So I want you to I want to just give this space to you to talk about Fly Star, talk about anything that you want about Fly Star, the hard work, what it took to do it in prison, what you're trying to do, the struggles, all that. Just give it to the people, man, because it's important. Because a lot of times when people think about us, they really think that we come to prison and we're going to get all the help we need, but realistically, there's nothing here. So we got to start doing for ourselves, thinking about the community, our futures, and different things. And so, like, bro, talk to the people, man.
First of all, people take for granted, and think that, because we're in here, that means it's easy for us to change. It's not. It's not easy for us to change. Because change has nothing to do with external circumstances. It's all change is all built on will. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's internal. Your external circumstances can change, but if you keep the same mind frame, no matter where you at, there you are. You know what I'm saying? And so, the thing about Fly Star is, I came up with the concept because before I came to prison, I was doing music, you know what I mean? And I was doing clothing, and I was doing a lot of things that were artistic, but I was still straddling the fence. One foot in, one foot out. You know what I'm saying? Going to school, working, and all that, but I'm still carrying around a gun, and I'm hanging out with cats men that I shouldn't be around. You know what I'm saying? So, the thing about it is that, I recognize that, the arts, are not really as supported as they should be, the same way as someone that wants to play basketball, or football, or a doctor, or things that are more, let me just say, practical. You know what I'm saying? Art is an abstract thing, and a lot of people feel like they have to understand it before they can support it, or don't recognize the power that a person has that has the ability to create. You know what I mean? Especially manifest things from their own being. So my thing is like, I want to support that, because there's not enough of it out there, especially in Tacoma. And I feel like, man, if there was a lot more activity centered around that, where individuals can express their innermost, but also get the help to understand how to turn your ideas into tangible assets for yourself to become economically stable. Because most of the people in prison here, you know what I'm saying, it was about, selling drugs and hustling and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so it's like, we know that, money is a necessity. You know what I mean? And if we can teach individuals how to take the things that they're blessed with, you know what I'm saying, and turn those into, something that can keep them out of prison, or out of situations that are no good for them, then why not? You know what I'm saying? So my thing about art is not necessarily just for art's sake. It's really about teaching the economics of it. You know what I'm saying? And understanding intellectual property, copyright, how to build an LLC, how to do NFTs, how to digitize your work, how to make logos, how to connect with people in the professional field, how to get inside galleries, how to get inside museums. You know what I mean? And while we're trying to teach this, I'm learning this at the same time, because I also recognize that I didn't take myself or my gifts serious enough. I've been an artist since I was a kid, but I never put my full focus and energy into it until now, until I began to really see myself and believe in myself. And so I know there's others out there walking around that have the same mentality that just need that boost. You know what I mean? Not necessarily just the encouragement to say, hey, man, oh, that's dope, man. I like what you're doing. You could be an artist. You could be ... No, how do I help you get to that place? Here's a space for you. Here's some art supplies for you. You know what I mean? Here's some, you know what I mean? In April, we sent some of the kids, you know what I'm saying, to the kids from the art club that I facilitate, to the Van Gogh exhibit in Tacoma. You know what I mean? And then in May, we sent them to Olympia Print Shop to learn how to do screen printing, you know, or have that type of experience. You know what I mean? And even in my own personal life with my daughter, I see a change in her with her artwork. She's taking her artwork more seriously. You know what I mean? My niece, she's not an artist, but she is an artist. She's more into like acting and dancing, but she starts painting. You know, she sold a couple of her pieces. We're putting galleries together for artists on the inside. I did my first one last year, and then I got another one coming up in August, where we're allowing individuals on the inside to get their work into the community and possibly, you know what I mean, make money off their work and or connect with the community. You know what I'm saying? To find the support that they need, you know what I mean, and encouragement, so that when they leave this space, they know that they don't ever got to pick up a gun, they don't got to pick up no dope, they don't got to try to be no pimp or nothing else like that, where they just like, yo, I could take this artwork and I know where to move it at. You know what I mean? I know how I built a business for myself. You know what I mean? I've done this for myself. I was able to take care of my family, you know what I'm saying, with my own work. You know what I mean? Same thing with myself. You know what I mean? Off of four pictures, 2 logos, and 2 paintings. You know what I'm saying? I was able to start an LLC. You know what I mean? Just off of that, and didn't have to do anything illegal. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have to ask my mom, didn't have to ask my baby's mom, didn't have to ask my cousin for the money to do it. You know what I'm saying? I was able to do it from the belief in myself and the focus and work that I'm putting in, and the time and effort that I'm putting in to my development and into helping others develop around us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if I miss anything, let me know. You know what I mean? But I get real passionate about this, you know what I mean? Because it's real for me.
Yeah, I don't think you really missed. Well, actually, I'm not going to lie. I think you did, because, you know, I've been doing this stuff with FRO now for about 4 years, right? And I know that it's not easy for us to do stuff on the inside. And a lot of times people will start with us, like, you know, I've seen people start with you and then they just poof, they're gone, right? And a lot of times I don't know if it's because they don't believe in our visions or they want to see immediate results. I'm not exactly sure what the heck it is, you know what I'm saying? But I know it's a struggle for us, regardless. It's still a struggle for us to be in these spaces and trying to do stuff, because I think a lot of times people that are free, they don't believe in you, but they ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, can you donate a few hours of your time to help me do something? And you ain't doing nothing anyways, and they can't give you that time, right? And I could be wrong in my assessment of that, but I'm more than sure I'm right.
Yeah.
But you got your own ideas of what you see, and I want to speak about that, because you're the same things that you go through, we go through with the Filthy Rags outreach.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're absolutely correct. And, you know what I mean, I thank you for pulling that out of me. You know what I mean? The thing about it is sometimes it's the feeling. You know what I mean? People romanticize what we're doing. You know, they hear the idea, they get caught up in the personality, but when it's time to do the work, they shy away from it. And then it becomes a conversation about capacity. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes it be a conversation about mental health. Or sometimes they just ghost you. You never know what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we've been through the worst, man. This is the bottom. You know what I mean? Like in life right now, you know what I'm saying, for us, man, being in prison with COVID, tuberculosis, you know what I'm saying, and whatever else, you know what I mean, is coming up the pipeline later on. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're still in a position that we're still striving anyways, because it's not about us anymore. That's what we recognize. And some people come in and it's about them. It's about what they want. You know what I'm saying? It's not about what you want for another person. It's about what they want for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And some people don't come to join us. They come to figure out how they can take over, how they can benefit. And when they see there's no immediate benefit, or you're on your square, meaning that you're really about what you're talking about, then they're going to run off anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what they say, man. Many are called, but only few are chosen. This path isn't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? This type of development, you know what I'm saying, not just with the internal, but with the external work and actually pushing, you know what I'm saying, a forward cause, you know what I mean, and actually bringing deliverables where people can actually benefit, you know what I'm saying, and actually need help from what you're serving up. You know what I'm saying? That's what spooks a lot of those people that can't stand with you. You know what I mean? Because they see that it's real, and it's too real for them because it's too much weight to carry. You know what I'm saying? We're already bearing enough weight, and we're willing to lift more. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it is, man. This thing is scary, man. Building a foundation, man. You know what I'm saying? Putting something down. You know what I mean? And being willing to follow through. You know what I'm saying? Being deliberate, being focused. You know what I'm saying? Recognizing that you have purpose. And when you ask people those questions, you know what I mean? They don't really have an answer for you because just because you know the definition doesn't mean you know what it means. You know what I mean? So we found our purpose, and it makes it easier for us to recognize our direction. You know what I mean? And so that's the thing about it, man. So yeah, man, I have people fall off. You know, come on, fall off, come on, fall off. You know what I'm saying? I have people fall off within the last couple of weeks. You know what I mean? And we're still pushing, still trying to make sure that, you know, that we're doing something, man, to help somebody else. You know what I mean? Because of what we've taken. Because really, at the end of the day, it should be all about us. It ain't about us no more. It ain't about me no more. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know, some of these things that we're doing, man, in the development, and you know, our internal battles, even our external battles, some people are not going to be there to witness, and it wasn't for them anyway. Like I said, man, 2 passing ships, one going east, one going west. You know what I mean? We're not all going to the same place. You know what I mean? And we're not all going to do the same thing because some people are not willing to do what you're willing to do, what FRO is willing to do, what Flystar is willing to do, what whoever is coming with the next innovative idea that we haven't ran across yet is willing to do. That's what makes us different because we have a will to do, and we put our money where our mouth is, figuratively, meaning we put our time where our mouth is. We're not just talking about it, we're being about it 100% of the day.
For sure. Put that out there, man. And I'm going to tell you something real quick. That's what I like about what we do at FRO. Because last week, my man was on here. He was cussing up a storm. And then we come with you, and you on some intellectual stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? You sounded like a CEO of a major corporation. But the thing of it is that you can't be stopped, bro. I'm watching you. You know what I'm saying? And I done told you, man, I already see it. I see the end result. I see it. I see the end result for Filthy Rags Outreach. And it's going to be major. And then, you know, somebody like Oprah or somebody going to be asking you, what made you think about that? You know, and right now they ain't feeling us. But then when it gets big, then everybody's going to act like they was down from day one. And I'm going to be like, beat it. But that's all. That's speedo. You know what I'm saying? But check this out. But check it out, though. So give me your gift. You know it. You know that's how I talk, too. Hey, so we definitely going to update your information on the website, but put your information out there, your website information, contact information, anything that somebody can do to learn more about you, bro.
So you could, of course, you can hit me up on JPay, Cory Lewis, 890-418. You know, Washington DLC, or you can contact. You can tap into our website, flystartfoundation.org. Once again, flystartfoundation.org. You can tap into flystarttacoma@gmail.com. You know, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook. It's the same thing, Flystart. You know, and that's it, man. We're just here to build, man. You know what I'm saying? Community, man, and people, man. You know, this is what we're doing it for, man. It's really for the people, man. It's not for ourselves, man. You know?
Not at all. Not at all. And, bro, I want to double back on something you said. And if my phone hangs, I want you to still just finish this final thought for me. You were talking about, like, the mental health and stuff. And so, like, we just filled out for a grant because we recognize that some of the brothers out here are going to need that mental health. You know, we just had a guy got out and killed the police where he could have probably got some help. And these cats in prison, they already knew he was probably sick, but they're going to release him anyways. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we got things going on in our heads and stuff, and we see each other going through these internal struggles and stuff, right? So, like, I wanted to just thank you for your time, but I wanted you to end on that note and tell these people how you see the mental health aspect of some of the fellas up in this prison.
Yeah, well, 100% the mental health services inside of prison are a joke, man. They lack empathy and true understanding of the people that they're supposed to serve, man. You know, and a lot of us, you know, brothers especially, you know, there's a stigma against asking for help, you know what I mean? And, you know, we think that there's something wrong with being vulnerable or talking about our traumas and the things that we don't understand that we went through, you know what I mean, that has put us in a situation where really, man, we doubt ourselves, you know, we lack real confidence, you know, and, you know, it just, you know, fear. You know, and so I think that, you know, it's most definitely, you know, something that's, you know, very good to actually seek that type of help. But, you know, we have to find it within places that understand where we come from or what we actually been through, you know what I'm saying, to actually foster some real help. You know what I mean? Because these people, they're not pulling on, you know, individuals that have been through it. They're using the textbook, you know, to provide services that don't deal with, you know what I'm saying, people of color, man, and their issues, you know what I'm saying, and they're not trying to get real advice from individuals that have been through it and have found ways to develop themselves from themselves and make a foundation for themselves through struggle, you know what I mean? And so some of the things that we need don't come out of a textbook. It's not clinical. You mean you won't find it, you know, in you know in the educational or higher education, you know what I mean, or people with these doctorates because they don't have the experience, you know what I mean, and we do. So I feel like, man, a lot of us need to be more open about, you know what I'm saying, the things that we've been through, you know what I'm saying, and how we've had a lack of understanding that a lot of us do suffer from one of the main things, PTSD. You know what I'm saying? When they start, you know, hitting you in elementary and middle school, talking about you ADD, ADHD, without investigating what's going on at home or what's going on in your environment. You know what I'm saying? Some of us have been living like we grew up in a war zone. You know what I'm saying? Some of us have been physically abused, mentally abused, sexually abused, and don't want to address those things. That goes back into my conversation about, you know, normalizing the abnormal, you know what I mean, shooting at each other, selling drugs to each other, killing each other, man. You know what I'm saying? Is it normal behavior? You know what I'm saying? We're usurping our humanity, you know what I'm saying, and not recognizing the programming. We're not also
You have 60 seconds remaining.
To face, you know what I'm saying, the man in the mirror, man, or face the demons. So, man, you know, we have to spend a lot of time doing that. You know what I mean? We need more mental health in the community, but, you know what I'm saying, being serviced by people that come from where we come from and look like us. You know what I mean? So, man, I want to say peace, man. Shout out to FRO, you know what I'm saying, Alphonso, Bell, champion. Man, thanks a lot, Robb, man, for this opportunity.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
Share a little bit of my life, man, and my life, you know what I'm saying, with the people, man. 100. Peace.